to another awesome video. And before we get started, I do want to do a little fun little shenanigan here. So let's do this real quick and let's just wreak some mayhem. Let's just let the carnage ensue first and let's just see what happens. I might have got myself screwed, but I wanna... Oh! I actually did get myself screwed. Okay, I thought he was gonna go after the other guys. Oh shit, okay. Oh no. Okay, I got myself into this. I thought he was gonna go after the other guys, but nope. I just got myself killed. This is a good way to start. Wonderful. Yep, no, not fun. Not fun at all. Yep. Not fun. Please don't kill me. Oof, okay. Duck and weave, 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 duck and weave. I need enough space to get out of the way. Come on, get me up, get me up. Wait, where is he? Where is he? Where is he going? Where is he going? Oh, he's getting attacked. Good, this is good. Please, please attack him, please attack him. Yes! 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 Kill the beast! Kill the beast! Kill the beast! I say we kill the beast! Let's try that. Ah, damn it. That kind of did something. Come on. It's kind of working. Kind of not. Just as long as he dies, I'm fine. Come on. Shit. Okay, I'm out. 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 Let's go get him. Okay. Give me a minute, peeps. Peoples. Even though it's pretty early, but just give me a minute. Can I cut him? Can I cut him? Come on, let me do my thing. There we go. We almost got him. We almost got this guy. This wasn't too bad. This wasn't too bad. We did it. Yeah, we almost got him. We could do this. Ooh, we got him. Yo, he just turned to... Yo. He was a bunch of rocks. We just turned him to stone, I think. Or he just disintegrated into stone. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, that was fun. Welcome back to another, I guess, quote, podcast, if you will. I don't know. Last night I said that I wanted to get up the Marvel vs. Capcom streams to 15 likes, or at least one of them to 15 likes, and I would do a stream today. I still was going to keep my promise nonetheless, but it would be nice if that did get a good couple amount of likes. That would be nice. I would very much appreciate it, especially the fact that those crashed, and I didn't like that. The fact that both of those crashed, which, by the way, towards the end of this stream, I will mention everyone that was featured in both those streams and that people that tuned in to this one today. So, anyone that's joining in, hello, welcome. Good to see you. And feel free to leave whatever you like in the chat. And so we're gonna go into, since literally a few weeks ago we went into Marvel and like what's going on and things, what they're planning of Kang shenanigans, basically, let's call it. And now we're gonna go into Star Wars, because the big thing, well, Star Wars has always been a big thing, but now there's so much controversy and so much with Star Wars that it's like, what's happening? We gotta really get into this, and not necessarily the controversy, but just a lot of like stuff that I recently found out and realized that there's all these projects that Disney announced, I think after the pandemic. Like, I think, if I remember correctly, before Acolyte dropped, before that TV show dropped, all of a sudden we were given we were basically given all these announcements and things of stuff like, oh, upcoming Star Wars movies, and this Star Wars movie, and this Star Wars movie, and this movie, and this movie, and this movie, and it's like, there's so many of these, how in the hell are they gonna all do this, and why the hell are they all doing this? And you could all say money, but it's like, let's take a look at all the projects that they've announced. And so the other thing with this is that a lot of these projects that we're going to go over may or may not have been canceled, but the thing is that there's all these projects that they announced, and either they're all announcing them and they're all going to happen within the next like 5 years, or it's a thing where half of them are going to be happening and the other half are just going to get canceled, or all these projects are going to get canceled. And still, whatever the case is going to happen, it's still a lot to unpack. So let's kind of delve into them, and we have a lot to kind of go into. We're going to break down each individual one and kind of go into like little, like, I have the site right here of so far literally, what is it called? It's like, what did it say? It said every new Star Wars movie and TV show currently in the works, and this was updated June 28th of 2024. So this is pretty recent. This dropped with Acolyte, with the mention of Acolyte happening. So also the things going on about this and that and this and that, and we'll break it all down here. And there's canceled projects and also the new releases that might happen or might not happen. We're going to break them all down here and do all that fun jazz in just a moment. I'll read off kind of like the site itself, and if you guys want, I might leave the link in the description if you want to go check it out after the end of this video. So once this becomes a video, then I will do that. So, what is it? It is gamesradar.com, so I will leave that in the description once this is done. But let me just double check something real quick. Can I? Oh no, that stinks. Okay, I can't even leave my own time codes in this. Okay, I had an idea, but I guess that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work for me anyways. But anywho, before we get started, people, let me just do a little dabbling, a little dabble here and there, and then we will get on with the show. So don't you worry, people. I will not keep you guys waiting. I promise you that. And I have no idea what's been playing, but I just have like the Alexa playing stuff at the moment. I can't even tell at the moment. I can't even tell if I'm being honest. And hopefully this actually works, because last night my whole thing again crashed on me, and I even checked what was the issue. It was an apparently when I logged in, there was a whole connection problem or some sort of stinky thing. But yet everything that I did, basically, like everything, I checked my network and my connection, and everything ran fine. I'm like thinking to myself, this is so weird. So I don't know. It was maybe it's the game. Maybe it was Marvel vs. Capcom. Like maybe it's just buggy and laggy with things. I have no idea. Hey, what's happening, Tom? Hey, welcome, Kevin Barnett. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Anyways, welcome to the stream. For this morning's stream, we're just going to talk about things Star Wars right now, which before we do, I'm going to do a little thing here and there, so just give me a sec and I'll be with you guys. And if you guys want, you're more than welcome to leave stuff in the chat, comments, questions, concerns, requests, suggestions, whatever it is. You feel free to leave them down in the chat. And if you don't get the opportunity to do this during the live stream, then you can always leave stuff in the comment section. If it'll do it. Survey says. Okay, cool. I have no idea what's being played. Something's being played right now. Oh, my collection! That's awesome! Good to see you back then. It's been a while. I kind of might like I don't know, but good to see you back. If you've returned, good to see you again. But anyways, so we're gonna break down all pretty much the different announcements of stuff, and I have no idea when all these were announced, but these were all announced probably within the time span of 2022 to now. So there's a lot to unpack here. So we're going to break down all this stuff, and unfortunately I was going to try and do all my time codes right now, but obviously the comments are not open until this is over. So once this is a video, then I can have the time codes. But if you guys want, you can jot down the time codes, and what's the word? And for any of you that have me on social medias, feel free to leave them and send them to me if you want, and then I can add them later, or I'll add them in afterwards. So we will do that and take care of things. So anyways, let's break it down. And yo! What's happening, Mike? Morning. Morning to all three of you so far. Let me actually close this out. But we're gonna break down some Star Wars stuff. This is just pretty much announcements and things that they've had for, I don't know, for years, and this is either stuff that's gonna still happen or some of it's canceled. Still, the idea is like, hey, let's break down like what is kind of like, maybe we could speculate what's happening, like what do we feel, how do we feel about Star Wars right now, even though I feel like a lot of people really aren't on the side of loving it. And you know, I don't blame people, because we've had this like toss-up of like, we've had a good project, then we've had a not so good project, then we've had a great project, then we had a not so great project, and it kept teeter-tottering since the pandemic. Because like, hey, the introduction of streaming, we had The Mandalorian, such a phenomenal series, or a phenomenal season. The first season was so epic, so good. It was something fresh. It was kind of just a nice spaghetti western in space, of course. So that came in, and then we had season 2, and then we had all these other shows show up and all that fun jazz. But these are movies we're gonna jump into. And actually, you know what, speaking of The Mandalorian, this is going to be the first one we'll go into and jump on to, about which this is, again, me just breaking down from what I've seen, from what I'm reading off the website, and there's dates and also other stuff. But speaking of The Mandalorian, the first one that shows up of upcoming movies so far is the Mandalorian Grogu movie. So that is still in directing. That's still going to be directed by, I want to say, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. I'm trying to see what it says here. So the release date so far is still for May 22nd of 2026. And it says, The Mandalorian and Grogu are headed to the big screen in a film aptly titled Mandalorian Grogu. Star Wars made the surprise announcement online. I have loved telling stories telling stories set in the rich world that Grogu, Jesus, let me stop reading too fast. Rich world that George Lucas created, Favreau said in a statement. The prospect of bringing the Mandalorian and his apprentice Grogu to the big screen is extremely exciting. And I'm not going to keep reading everything else, but they are obviously set to lead in their own movie, which kind of makes sense. I don't want a season 4. I don't know. I mean, season 3 was okay at best, if I'm being honest. I don't know. I think that's not the worst thing we've gotten out of the Disney Plus Star Wars series, because I think as much as it's not the worst thing, it's not like absolutely terrible, but I think very meh and okay, or least bit like one I like out of the shows is, it's between, I think it's Andor or it's I hate to say this, but so far from what I've been seeing and hearing, it might be Acolyte, which, no surprise, but maybe that'll turn around for me once I can actually watch the rest of the episodes, because lately I've not been able to have my Disney Plus subscription for a good moment due to just stuff going on. So, with that being said, I've literally been just hearing spoilers and hearing people talk about it. Like, Jeremy Johns did reviews, and I was like, you know what, I don't care anymore, honestly, at this point. Like, it's not gonna faze me. Like, there's nothing that's gonna make me go, oh my god, like, I'm in shock. The only thing I feel like that would make me in such shock is if we had something like Darth Plagueis shows up. But even if that happens, I feel like that's gonna be so anticlimactic, because hey, the big villain is gonna be saved for the last act, or the final episode, and I'm like, ugh, like, really, like, and it feels wasted of a character too, especially how much of like the rich lore of Plagueis and the existence and just the stories and the myths we hear of Plagueis. But anywho, so back to everything else. I think it's better that we don't get a season 4 of The Mandalorian. Season 3 was very okay at best, so I think them doing a movie makes sense, and especially since Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau want to do, like, not a extended, like, cinematic, like, build-up, kind of like an Avengers thing, but it feels like that's what they want to do. That's the direction they want to head into, because that's what it feels like they're building up to with The Mandalorian and with Ahsoka and even maybe Book of Boba Fett, kinda. I mean, without not really going into a lot, but I mean, it feels like those three shows, since they were at least given some heart and some effort into them, with having Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, since Dave Filoni has such a heart in Star Wars because he did Clone Wars, he did Star Wars Rebels, and he did Bad Batch, so he obviously cares, and not that nobody else doesn't, but there's a lot more to Dave. I feel like he'd be like, yeah, I want to do this for this, and there's a lot of an understanding to X, Y, and Z here. So since they're building up to Admiral Thrawn being the big bad, or perhaps maybe he'll be the big bad, I can see them being like, hey, let's get Ahsoka maybe teaming up with Mando, maybe she gets Luke involved, maybe we get like a whole like squadron of a rebellion, a team of sorts, a resistance, maybe the first resistance team, if you will, to basically be like, hey, we did stuff to fight off Thrawn, and we did things after Return of the Jedi. I don't know. I know the whole ordeal is, hey, let's not recast the characters, but at this point, who gives a shit? Just tell a good story. Just tell a good story. Just tell something good. I even said it with Ahsoka, is if they're gonna bring in Luke, I don't care if you recast at this point. Like, it does not matter anymore. Just do something good and do something that actually feels justified and actually feels satisfying than just, I don't know, something that feels underwhelming. And yeah, and Ahsoka kind of had some underwhelming moments with, like, it's just Sabine and Ahsoka and Ezra fighting off against Thrawn and his zombie troopers. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, and I've said this in like multiple videos I've done about Ahsoka, and it's like, you didn't think to get the one guy who was able to stop the Empire and also is the son of your master? Come on. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go away. If you're not gonna be smart, go away. But in serious, though, I feel like that's what they might be going with, and if they want to if they want to build up to that, like, hey, we're gonna build up to like this Star Wars movie where they all fight Thrawn, then have Mando and Grogu show up in a film. Great, perfect. I don't care what they do, just as long as it's good. Give me something good with these two, and I'll be fine. I'd be happy. That's all that matters. And I'm gonna be careful next time because these guys almost killed me. So we're gonna just do that. So, also, if you guys didn't figure out, or if you guys either don't care or do, it's perfectly fine. There will be spoilers a little bit for some of the stuff, but anywho, let's go on to, so that's that on that one. The next one was a new Rey movie. The release date is unknown, so maybe we don't have to see another Rey movie, if I'm being honest, or another Star Wars movie centered around Rey. I'm not even gonna call her Skywalker, if anything. Even though she's technically related to the Emperor, but whatever. Apparently that doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, hey, you know who you are. It doesn't matter. Apparently, you can change your name and, you know, not be proud of your name and do that whole thing of like, I'm Rey Palpatine and proud, and I'm not like my grandfather. No, apparently we just want to be related to Skywalker for whatever reason. So, anyways, what was it? It was revealed literally last year at the Star Wars Celebration, so 2023, and there hasn't really been a lot, but the director is supposedly Sharmeen Abaid Chinoy. So I've never heard of this person, and it sounds like a first-time director because I've noticed a lot of first-time people debuting with films, and I'm thinking to myself, this could be good, but this could be bad. Like, for example, I was shocked to find out that the director of Inside Out 2 is actually a first-time debuter, and I'm like, wow. I was like, that's kind of good because that movie was good. That was a good sequel. That was a great sequel. And I'll probably wind up doing a review on that later, but I don't know when. But the time will come for it, so don't worry. And this is just going to be me just kind of like wall climbing, if you will. Maybe we'll do some raiding and we'll do some shenanigans and cause some mischief a little bit. But for now, it's just me jumping around doing stuff and maybe just standing around looking brooding and menacingly and pretty cool and heroic, perhaps, as Talion from Lord of the Rings. Well, not Lord of the Rings, but this is a prequel to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So I'm going to make this very quick. I don't really have a huge interest, although maybe she'll get the Hayden treatment. Maybe Daisy Ridley will get the Hayden Christensen treatment, where people will actually be like, oh my gosh, we actually love you now, because things have been pretty shitty and now we actually like you. And kind of the same goes for Hayden, because so much shit was dropped and dumped on the prequels that when Hayden started coming back and doing events and celebrations, people welcomed him with open arms. So maybe this is what's going on for Daisy, but I feel like literally it hasn't been that long since the Rise of Skywalker happened. I feel like her quote-unquote redemption, if you will, does not feel fully earned, if that's what they're trying to do. Like, hey, let's give everyone a justified Rey movie and people were excited. I don't know. If you actually are excited for this movie, great, but I'm just like, I really don't. I want to kind of just close the Skywalker saga. Close on it. We're done. Episode 9. Done. That's it. Let's move on to other projects. If we're doing something before The Force Awakens and the sequel trilogy, I'm fine with that. But let's do something that has nothing to do with the events of Episode 9, with Rey training the next generation of Star Wars characters and Jedi. It's like, okay, sure. I'm just very like, I could take it or leave it. Really, I'm not that excited. So that's that. Just give me something else. Don't give me Episode 10. Give me like stuff before. I know it sounds weird, but give me in between, in between quills, inter between quills, whatever you want to call those. I guess prequels to inter-betweens. I don't know. But point is, give me stuff before Force Awakens. Give me stuff after Return of the Jedi at this point, because that seems like that's the direction they're going with everything. It feels more fitting, so do that. So that's just my 2 cents. But that's done. Let's move on. Move on. Don't want to spend too much time. Yeah, there's a lot written down here, but I think this is mainly just Kathleen Kennedy going, hey, let's give her another movie. Let's do Episode 10, because let's just do it for the sake of it, even though we said The Rise of Skywalker would be the conclusion, but it's not the conclusion, so it's pretty dumb. So, next thing is a James Mangold Star Wars movie, which I'm glad James Mangold is given an opportunity to actually direct a movie again, because for a few years or so, originally, James Mangold was tasked to direct a Boba Fett movie, which that would have been really cool, because we're talking about the guy who did Walk the Line, the Johnny Cash movie, and Logan, and other things. And it just sounds pretty cool to have that guy actually make a movie about Boba Fett. Would have been awesome. And then I guess Disney decided, let's just make a TV show, which maybe that was better. I don't know. I have no idea. Shh. Oh shit. He didn't see me. Shoo, he didn't see me. I didn't see him, he didn't see me. That was actually pretty classic. So, I'm glad he's doing that. However, it's not a Boba Fett movie we're getting with James Mangold. However, this is where things get different. This is where things get interesting here. Is the release date is unknown, but however, it states that Indiana Jones 5 director James Mangold is working on a film that will be set thousands of years in the past, focusing on the first Jedi. When I first started talking to Kathleen Kennedy about doing one of these pictures, what occurred to me was thinking about what kind of genre of movie within Star Wars I wanted to do. Mangold said at a celebration, I thought about a biblical epic, like a 10 Commandments, about the dawning of the Force. Where did the Force come from? And when did we discover it? When did we learn how to use it? And also the other quotes that he says, and you know, if this is basically him saying that he wants to do something like the Old Republic or the First Jedi, that could be cool. That could be really intriguing. That would be nice. And kind of like adding the comparison of the 10 Commandments sort of solidifies the idea that, hey, this sounds pretty damn good. This actually might be promising. This could be something interesting. However, the problem here, which we run into if they just retcon it or don't care, which I don't think James Mangold's gonna really give a shit on, and maybe it's for the better, is that like, what? Acolyte all of a sudden introduced it that there's not just the Force, it's a thread or some crap like that, where it's not just the thing that binds us together, it's a thread, it's a tether of some sort, and it's this weird witchery, sorcery, witchcraft of some sort, and that makes me scratch my head a little bit. So I could see him just not caring that's what happens. So if he does that, great. If not, then I have no idea. But I feel like he's not gonna care. I feel like that's gonna be something that over time, I feel like that's gonna be something that over time Disney's gonna maybe want us to forget. Like basically, we'll basically be faced with the neuralizer from Men in Black, and Disney would just be like, no, let's just forget that happened. The thread thing, let's forget that happened. That was never a thing. Just like the midichlorians, that was never a thing. Let's just focus on the Force was the Force from the beginning. Okay, it was just a thing that binded us and kept us all together, like life and creation and all that stuff. The hell am I listening to? What even just played? It was some, like, obviously I have like Alexa playing, like, just randomly started playing Disney stuff, but I don't even know what the hell it was. But then again, I probably wasn't paying attention, but maybe it's for the better. I don't know. I have no clue. But yeah, I'd be down for this idea. I mean, give me stuff before the prequels. That'd be kind of intriguing because we've all been wanting something related to the Old Republic. I know we're not gonna get actually an Old Republic thing, but I feel like that wouldn't be too far off. I don't know. There's a lot to be played with, and I think James could have fun with it, and hopefully it'll be good. And then we go on to what do we go on to next? Where are you? There you are. Okay, so the next thing is Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie, which, speaking of, I kind of was mentioning, because, hey, this is the whole idea of, like, bringing these Disney Plus characters and do, like, a Star Wars movie and all that, kind of now comes to fruition, more or less. Oh my gosh! Oh, I just realized I was playing. Damn it! I've been meaning to watch the Goofy movie. Man, I've been meaning to rewatch it. It's been a while. Anyways, back to on track. So, no surprise, this is going to be also a release date that is very unknown. There's no official release. There hasn't been anything on it whatsoever yet. I don't know why, but so far literally the only thing that's been confirmed is Mandalorian Grogu for 2026. But with Dave Filoni's Star Wars, it was also announced, no surprise, no shot, at Star Wars Celebration last year. So a lot of these projects were announced last year. So that could probably feel why it feels like it's a lot already, and maybe a bit too much. I don't know. Is there not a creature in here? Aw, Dad. Max. Damn it. Oh well. So, this was also announced at Star Wars Celebration. And Dave Filoni will helm a live-action Star Wars movie. It will bring together the Disney Plus shows so far, The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and the Book of Boba Fett, into a cinematic event, end quote, that will take place between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. So, like, kind of what I literally was saying is, like, let's just have in-between stuff. And that's where the direction that Dave wants to go in, because whenever there's been the prequels or the sequel trilogy or anything like that, it feels like Dave Filoni has been the one to kind of be the saving grace to really be like, hey, I'm going to bring TV shows together and make it all make sense, because the prequels happened and people are like, what the hell is all this? And next thing you know, Clone Wars dropped after the prequels, and it was like, whoa, that actually makes more sense. And we see things like the rise of Anakin slowly turning to the dark side, and the Empire and the Emperor slowly making his progress with clones and stormtroopers and everything in between, and all this other stuff that happened during the prequels, and all this other big development throughout 3 movies, and all sorts of stuff. So, and then Filoni comes back doing other stuff that kind of, again, keeps the ball rolling of, hey, I'm gonna do something that happened after Revenge of the Sith, but before A New Hope. Like, what's going on in between? So we see Star Wars Rebels, we see characters like Captain Rex, we see Ahsoka come back, we see the return of Darth Maul, we see a lot of faces that we saw in Clone Wars, and we saw in between all this, and it kind of makes it more connective tissue, it adds more layers, and it just feels flawless. And The Mandalorian is kind of slowly doing that, and it feels like that's what they want to do with what it seemed like was they were building up to something, because in season 2 there was this whole ordeal about they were on like one of the big Imperial ships against Moff Gideon, and there's these big test tubes and these grotesque looking beings or people or humanoids in there, and I think people were speculating that what if this is like the cloning process of like them trying to create a clone of the Emperor, and the first the prototype of the clone of the Emperor was Snoke. So hence why maybe the sequels gave us Supreme Leader Snoke, and then the Emperor returns out of nowhere, and the drop of that, hey, maybe he was a clone, maybe he actually came back from the dead, or whatever it is. And even the Emperor then saying that I was Snoke all along, Kylo Ren. I've been every voice you have ever heard inside your head. So maybe there's that brief moment in season 2 of Mando that kind of confirms it. Even in Bad Batch, there's this feeling of they were getting Omega, her DNA or her genome, like compound, whatever chemical shit, because it would help the Empire with something they were trying to build or create. And they didn't really specify what, but there is a possibility that maybe they needed that genome, whatever thing that Omega has, that could maybe perhaps lead to the Emperor being cloned, because you need DNA of a clone. So why not give the Emperor or the clone of the Emperor the right amount of compounds to make that clone, possible. Hey Juan, how's it going, man? This is just me going into Star Wars stuff and what we can either leave our thoughts on, how do we feel about the state of Star Wars and all these projects happening, if we like what we're hearing, if we hate what we're hearing, if we just want to just leave Star Wars to die, whatever you feel it is. You feel free. If not, you're more than welcome to just leave random stuff in the chat. Like, I'm not going to force you guys to be like, it's got to be Star Wars related. No, if you guys want to just leave random shit, it's fine too. I am not picky. I am never picky. So, but yeah, the Disney show is kind of coming together. The Disney Plus show is coming together, kind of like then forming this big event into, we're leading, hey, these shows that we've seen, Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and Ahsoka, all kind of interconnect, so that way they're in the same timeline. And then we see a Mando and Grogu, the movie, and then next you know we get this big Dave Filoni movie. So that sounds like at least something promising, but hopefully it'll pay off. I feel like it will pay off, because there's still Grand Admiral Thrawn to face. I mean, literally Ahsoka and Sabine are still trapped on that planet. Ezra made it back home, luckily. So it's a matter of rescuing Ahsoka and stopping Grand Admiral Thrawn with his new, I guess, which this would be funny, is if all of a sudden Grand Admiral Thrawn's like, we shall now rise with our first order. Like, it'd be so funny if Grand Admiral Thrawn was the one that came up with the First Order in the first place. Like he might have said something like, "Hey, you know what? We may not be the Empire anymore, but we shall come up with a name, and we'll come up with a name, and that will be our First Order." Did I just say that out loud? That's pretty genius. Someone write that down. Someone get a pen, write that down. I just want, like, it doesn't have to be a joke, but I could see dramatically Thrawn saying, "We shall now bring out the new First Order," and it's like, what? So that'd be kind of cool if I'm being honest. But I feel like you got Thrawn. He's got his new army. He's got an army of zombie troopers and basically zombie troopers. So I think you have a threat like that that's gonna do damage to the galaxy. You gotta start getting people together somehow. Grogu and Mandalorian, and I mean Mando and Grogu, Din. He's gotta do something to be like, "Hey, let's get out of retirement and go rescue Ahsoka. We just received a distress call," or something. I have no idea. However it's gonna play out, hopefully it's promising, is the point, and is the mindset for that. I didn't know that. They probably used, it was probably, I don't know. I don't think it was exactly like R2-D2, but it might have been something else. Ah, oh, shit. Come on. Come on. Hold on, I've got to scroll a little bit. Actually, you know what? Right now, let me add the website, if I could, real quick. And then you guys can look at it later, or look at it while you're following along. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my god. Let me add that in. Probably once this stream is done, I'm gonna go make myself some pancakes, because I'm in the mood for some pancakes, so I will be doing that. So yeah, I think if you guys refresh the stream, you could check out the link if you want to follow along. If not, literally you can check it out later on every little, like, exact word for word quote article and all that happened with this. But anywho, let's keep going. Let's keep the ball rolling a bit. Where is it? So the next project that was also announced probably at Star Wars Celebration. When was this announced? Let's see. Yeah, let's see. The film is headed for a quote late 2023 release, but said, oh wait, never mind. That's not what I was looking for. I was looking for when this was announced. Oh, never mind. I was worried that this got cut off. I was like, no, don't do this to me again. Because I was worried this thing was going to crash. I was like, god damn it, not again. But anyways, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. But anyways, so Taika Waititi will be directing an upcoming Star Wars movie co-written by Kritsky Wilson Cairns, who helped script the Oscar-nominated 1917 and Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho. No other details have yet been announced, other than the movie will be heading to cinemas. And apparently late 2023 was the release, but said we haven't locked anything in. We haven't locked anything in when asked if that meant December 2023. Clearly it won't be making that 2023 release date now that last we heard it was still being written. It doesn't say when this was announced, though. Does it say when this is supposed to be? Because this one's weird. This one is very weird, this Star Wars movie, because there's not a lot of details on what this is going to be about, description-wise. It's just a matter of... Oh, come on. It just says it's a matter of, let me see. Per Variety, the director will also likely have part in the movie. Yeah, no shit, because it seems like Taika Waititi loves to include himself in his own movies. I mean, he's done that twice with the Thor movies, and even in Jojo Rabbit, because he played Hitler in Jojo Rabbit, and then he was also Korg in the Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder. Let me see if there's anything here. Taika's still working away, writing the script. Yeah, it's Star Wars Celebration last year. Yep.
Or smell some delicious man flesh.
Not a lot of details. Again, not a lot of details on what this will be. I have no clue what this could be, if I'm being honest. All I know is that knowing Taika Waititi, it's going to be probably something very weird and probably something very bizarre. Not bizarre per se, but he just has that quirky sort of style to him. And it clearly shows in the Thor movies, at least the last two Thor movies, with Ragnarok having like this big, amazing, colorful Jack Kirby style of color and vibrancy, and then Thor Love and Thunder was like, hey, let's crank that up to 1,000, and really went too far with the whole colors and the jokes and everything. So like I don't know, but Jojo Rabbit was kind of creative. It was kind of funny. I heard from what I remember and heard. But let me see, what'd you say? I have no idea who Nature Cat is, but hey, I wouldn't be surprised because a lot of people in pop culture or in media have referenced Star Wars, so it is possible. Countless of shows reference a lot of stuff. Not even that, but like, you have things in pop culture that just reference all sorts of things and quote stuff. Like, there's literally a compilation of so many movies and shows saying he's standing right next to me, or he's right behind me, isn't he? Or you in what army? Or literally referencing Star Wars or referencing Simpsons, because those were just big popular things. But wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't put it past him. So this Taika movie, I don't know. Can't really say a lot. Can't speculate a lot. I think at one point someone thought, or there was people that are thinking that Star Wars would be rebooted by Taika Waititi, and honestly, I don't think that should be the case, and I don't think that will be the case, because I feel like Taika would probably do something just very absurd, like maybe do, like, I don't know, he'd probably do a, I feel like out of all the things I can think of, he'd probably make a spin-off movie about either the, that weird skeleton crew, or that squadron, or whatever, of gangsters, or of bounty hunters that we saw in The Force Awakens, with the Crimson Corsair and his crew. Like, I feel like that would be a movie, which, if that's a movie, please. I've been wanting to know who the hell the Crimson Corsair is, and he looks like a fucking cool character that was just basically given nothing to do. Like, he just showed up randomly, and he's got a whole DLC story in the Lego Star Wars Force Awakens game, and I'm thinking to myself, this crew of space pirates would be so fun to follow. It'd be something different and something away from the Skywalker saga. I'm like, you know what? Please give me that. And if he's gonna do something like that, please, Taika, do that. That'd be cool. Either that, or I feel like he'd make like a spin-off movie about Max Rebo and the Jabba's Palace Cantina music group band, whatever they're called. Max Rebo and the people, whatever they're called. Give me a second here. Let me see if we can look it up. Do they actually have a name? I'm curious. I have no idea what's even being played at this moment, but it does not matter. Max Rebo band. Does it actually say, oh, it's just a Max Rebo band? Or is it just actually a name? Like, does it actually have a name? Let me see. It doesn't have a name, but you know what? I think this would be funny as hell if Taika did something this weird. He would do something like this. Make a band and make a movie about the band that is Max Rebo and the band, or whatever they're called. Like, I think that'd be something up his alley. That's the only thing I could speculate on, is something so deep cut and so obscure and so random like Max Rebo, or... What the fuck am I looking at here? That's pretty funny, actually. I would watch this, actually. Now that I see how silly and stupid this edit is, I would love to actually watch this. So I can see Taika doing this, or he would so make a, I want like the Crimson Corsair crew as a movie. So I think those would be pretty awesome. I would 100% go see this. I'd be the first one there. First one to see one of those movies. So, honestly, I think that'd be phenomenal. So give me one of those, I think. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But other than that, I have no idea what his intention is. Did it not do the thing I wanted it to do? No, it didn't do the thing I wanted it to do. Man. Alright. It didn't want to do the thing I wanted it to do. Stinky. Very stinky. I'm hearing Universe of Energy, I just realized. Come on. Hold up. I'm gonna watch this real quick, guys. Let me see this. This is actually kind of funny. This looks funny. So this is from Super McFly. I'm watching, you don't hear the audio for this, but I'm watching a video from apparently a YouTuber named McSuperfly, I should say, not Super McFly, McSuperfly, and it's called Max Rebo Band, A Star Wars Story. So this is definitely fake, but I want to see this nonetheless. This looks so bad, but I would want this, honestly. Please, oh my gosh, yes. Oh my god, the shades, that's killing me. The fake PNG shades are killing me. Yeah, maybe it's better that I don't freaking, I don't play the music, because this would probably maybe get me copyrighted, because this is from Return of the Jedi, pretty much. Like, it's literally the special edition with that weird song that goes... Oh my god. I wouldn't mind if they did, something like, I wouldn't mind if they did something, I wouldn't mind if Taika did something, I wouldn't mind if they made, oh my god, this has lore, this has some real funny lore. I wouldn't mind if Taika did something Star Tours related. Oh, this would be a Disney Star Wars joke. Yeah, this would be a joke like that. That's kind of funny. Max Rebo, Star Wars Story. I'd watch this. I'd watch this. This would be something Taika Waititi would do. And that is all I'm saying. I will show you guys this later. So, don't you worry your little minds, people. Let me see. Now let me get back to what you guys are saying in the chat. I do not remember who that is, Juan, if I'm being honest. I'll take a look, but I don't remember who that is.
Or smell some delicious man flesh.
I don't know, at this point, like, when you take you take a TV show or an old childhood cartoon show, it really doesn't feel like ruining childhood to me. It just feels like just people just doing stuff, you know? But anyhow, let's get back to the show at hand here. And the next one was about... There was something I saw with Sean Levy. I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Sean Levy. Sean Levy wants to do a Star Wars movie. So, details are unknown, but it says Free Guy Helmer Sean Levy has a Star Wars movie in the works, but the project won't enter production until Deadpool 3 and Stranger Things Season 5 has wrapped up. That's all we know about this particular project at the moment, though we don't expect to hear anything more for some time as Levy's other movies and shows take priority. There was also no update about this film at Star Wars Celebration. So there's no details, there's nothing on what he's got in mind. However, I wouldn't put it past Sean Levy if he all of a sudden decides to, I bet you, I guarantee you this is what's going to happen. I guarantee you this is how it's going to go. As I feel like people are going to ask him, like during the release and the screening of Deadpool and Wolverine, a lot of interviewers are going to ask, how's the Star Wars project coming along? I bet you people are going to want to get some details on what the Star Wars movie he's making, and it'll be during that moment. It'll be so convenient. I can just see it. Literally, like, just you watch, guys. Next week is going to happen, and people are going to be like, so Sean, how's it been working for Disney and working for the MCU, and how's it, like, compared to something like the Star Wars project you're working on? Or what can you say about the Star Wars project you're working on? And who's going to be in the Star Wars project? And they'll probably ask Ryan Reynolds if he's going to be in it. They'll probably ask Hugh Jackman if he's going to be in it. Because most likely Sean Levy is going to want to have good old Ryan Reynolds to be in his movie. I wouldn't put it past Sean if he would have Ryan Reynolds show up and he's either the main character or he makes a cameo, because so far he's worked with Ryan Reynolds twice. He did Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, and now he's doing Deadpool 3, aka Deadpool and Wolverine. So I wouldn't put it past Sean to be like, hey Ryan, you want to be in the next Star Wars film? Yeah, sure, just as long as it's not like Disney's Star Wars, and it'll be actually really good, and it'll actually be kind of funny, and it'll actually be really inventive and imaginative, and something really original and out there. I just don't want to do it for a paycheck, but although I will take the pay nicely. So I feel like it will be a conversation like that. But yes, Kevin Burnett, I do play PS4. This is what I'm playing right now. And yeah, that's what's happening right now. And good to see you again. Hold on. Is this the laughing place? That's actually kind of cool. I haven't heard Splash Mountain or Song of the South in a while. My favorite console? I'm not sure. It would have to be probably maybe PS4 or PS2. I have a PS4, a PS3, a PS2, a PS1, a Wii. I have a DS and a Game Boy, but those don't work anymore. And unfortunately, my PS3 also doesn't work too. So that's also fun. Shh. Let's see what happens. They're all dead. That was easy. Hey again, PJ. Good to see you. We're just talking Star Wars stuff and all things like...
Back again? What happened to the days when dead talk stayed dead?
What?
Snafu.
I don't remember you, but okay. Let me kick this guy's ass, because this guy's gonna be very interesting to deal with. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. I do not, I have PlayStation, Nintendo. Yes, I have Nintendo properties and PlayStation properties. I just don't have a Switch. I don't have a PS5 nor a Switch. You. Let me kill this guy real quick, and we'll get back to Sean Levy. Oh, he's on.
You're gonna have to try harder than that.
Yeah, I got it.
Try it again. Might go better.
Is that what you own, or you're saying what I own? Because that's pretty much all that I own. Alright, where are you? Where are you? Ooh, okay, never mind. Ooh, okay. Come on, come at me, bro. Stand in your own bear trap, stink. Hunker.
Gonna make this hurt. You're not even trying.
I don't like that.
You really this rusty talk? Stupid ranger. Let's see your.
Honestly, I have no idea what they can do at this point to really disappoint fans even more, so we shall see. I'll probably wind up hearing about it through Jeremy Johns until I actually watch the last few episodes.
You're giving me a good laugh. I'll have your head tied.
There we go. That was quick. Quick and painless. So, I wouldn't put it past Sean Levy for his Star Wars movie. He all of a sudden includes Ryan Reynolds. I wouldn't put it past him. I think that's all I can really go off of because I have no idea what his idea could be. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I know all these guys' ideas and what they're gonna come up with. It's just speculation. I really don't know. He could do, I don't know. I feel like Sean Levy could make something either very out of his wheelhouse, like maybe he could do an Old Republic movie, or he could do something like very like smugglers, like something in his wheelhouse, like bounty hunters or gangsters or space, you know, characters like that. I wouldn't put it past him on that. I mean, I had a PS1 and PS2 for ages because those were my dad's, and then we got a Wii afterwards. Well, hold on. In chronological order, it was the PS1 we had, the PS2 we had, and then I got a Game Boy, then I got a DS, then I got a Wii, then we got a Wii, then we got the PS3, and then we got the PS4. Not in that same time frame, but you get the idea. Oh, it's playing Splash Mountain. That's why I'm hearing Splash Mountain. Ooh. Heads up. Heads up. Heads up. Heads up. I'm trying to think here. What was I going off about? That's the only thing I can think of with Sean Levy's Star Wars thing.
Yeah, but guarded against who? He's conquered everything.
I remember that episode with Luna wanting her needing her shot. That was a big ass needle, though.
You ever get nervous during an execution?
I mean, yeah, that's the one thing I don't really get why, because there's so much of like, hey, we've gone from the Force to midichlorians to now it's the Force again, and then it's now we have what? Acolyte says there's a thread, which I said before. It's not the Force. It's a thread that binds us, or it lines us all together because we are witches, and witches developed the Force or something. It's like witches developed the Force. I don't know about that, but okay, sure. Let's go with that, buddy. Whatever makes you happy, whatever floats your boat. But I don't know. It's not the worst thing from that show. There's other stuff that I have more concerns of. I think the biggest thing I will say, which I feel like when I review the show, this is gonna be my biggest thing with the show, is not only the villain, but also there's no real sense of danger in the show. There's no real risk. There's no real sense of urgency. There's no sense of like, holy fucking shit, the Sith. There's still the Sith out there. We just discovered the Sith are still out there. We need to do something fast and ASAP. It's just, yeah, there's a guy here. There's a dude here. That's it. Okay. It's just a guy? Yeah, it's a guy. He has a red lightsaber, and he says he calls himself the Sith. He calls himself the Sith? Okay. Alright, well, continue with your very monotone, non-negotiable conversation. Okay, will you continue with your non-emotional conversation as well? So, it literally feels like there's no sense of danger, there's no sense of, like, something happening, there's no sense of suspense, because now the mystery of who killed all these Jedi, it's out the window, it's gone. It's like it literally drops and it takes away the murder mystery. I think that would have been interesting to interwove a murder mystery into a Star Wars show. Would have been kind of cool. It could have been like Clue or Knives Out or Murder on the Orient Express or Murder on the Orient Express, but Star Wars. So they just literally said, nope, this is what happens right now. It's like that kind of takes away what you were building up to and so much other stuff that I'll be unpacking when the time comes, but not now. Not anytime soon. So, yeah, not happening, buddy. I don't blame you, PJ. I don't blame you. We'll see what happens, though. Did it give me social skills? I don't know if Hello Boss gave me social skills. That's a weird question to ask. It's not a bad weird question. It's just a interesting type of weird question, because I'm like, that's not something I'm like usually asked about in terms of social skills. I don't think it gave me social skills, if I'm being honest. It's just a weird way to phrase it. I don't know. It didn't really. I don't know. I feel like without kind of going a lot into personal sort of ordeal, even though I want to touch on it, but I don't want to touch too much on it, is I've felt like I've had a good sense of social skills, but at the same time, not that I haven't had a good sense, but I feel like I'm very kind of, if you will, introverted or extroverted. Like I feel like I'm like a bit of like in between, and I'm not like ashamed of it. It's I know that like sometimes I have my moments and of both, so it's like it's not bad. It's just like, yeah, that's just how it is for me. That's how it feels. It's been for me over the years, I've noticed. I mean, I guess that's more like vulnerability. Moxie was kind of showing vulnerability because he's like, it's a mom, she's got kids and she's got a family and all this other stuff. And how ironic that he felt such sympathy for the mother, and how Moxie doesn't have his own mom anymore, or he killed his own mom. So that really does play a little bit more into it. Yeah, I can see that too. I can see that as well. It depends on people you interact with, who you're more comfortable with, and versus who you feel more closer to, and who you feel more of a personal, like you can share stuff with everybody, versus who you really don't feel like sharing stuff with. Like you can kind of go off and base and say, hey, I feel more comfortable with so and so because I've known this person for years and we have at least some sort of connection, or human connection, or human ingenuity, or whatever. Versus someone that you're like, oh, I've only known you for a few weeks, but maybe I'll get to know you better, or maybe, you know, it depends on how you feel. But anyways, let's keep going back on track to things. And I think the next project was about, was it Lando, or was it something else? Let me check. Yeah, Sean Levy, that's still unknown. I love that literally the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, that has a release date of not next year, 2026, and everything else is just unknown. So I'm speculating that all this is going to happen probably 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, maybe until 2032. We shall see. It all depends if these all get greenlit, or if these all get I don't know. Oh, I'm hearing the Disney World CD soundtrack, which is kind of nice.
He's there.
Watch this, watch this. I'm not even gonna break a sweat. Look at this. Look at this. I'm not gonna break a sweat with these guys. Come on. Come at me. Come at me. Come on, let's go. Come on, I'll push you around. Look at this. Look at this. I don't even need to try. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Ooh. Ooh, I'm just gonna toy around with you three, just for fun. Ooh. Ooh, let's go. Ooh. Look at that. Look at that. Can I? Oh, I can't do it now. Wait, wait. Wait for it. Gotcha. Come on. Take another swing at me. Take another swig. I dare ya. I double dog dare you. I triple dog dare you. I quadruple dog dare you. Not even trying. Look at this. Look at this. See this? See that? See that? Look at that. Not even trying. Ooh. I don't even need to try. Look at this. I just keep throwing you guys around because it's kind of fun. Ooh, let's go. Oh, I'm attracting more people. Okay, cool. The more the merrier. Okay, okay. Alright, I'm attracting more people. Let's go. Come here. Come at me. Come at me, all of you. Let's go. Right now. I'm ready. I won't take long. I'm just toying around with everybody. But yeah, don't worry. So we're gonna get back on track while I'm just toying with everybody. So that's always, I feel like, no, that's always happened, but I feel like that's already been announced, and that's been announced for years. Lando getting his own movie, because with the quote success of Solo, it was just like bound to happen. The announcement, the idea of a Lando movie, especially with Donald Glover, because Donald Glover was probably the best aspect of that film. Even if the movie did good or did bad, at least Donald Glover was really great as Lando Calrissian. He captured the charm and charisma of who Lando is, and with him just being polar opposite to Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo, it just felt he just felt like you look at Donald Glover as Lando and you go, yup, that's a young Lando Calrissian. That's 100% a young Billy D. Williams for sure. Like, you can buy into that. So I feel like he's the star, or he's the show stealer. That's the word I'm looking for. He's the show stealer. He steals the scene. So it feels like it was announced years ago, and I'll take a look at it in a moment, but I just want to just keep messing with everybody until I just finally decide, you know what, let's do something. Which is gonna be now. Who's next? Are you next? Come on, get down on the floor. Get down on the floor. Let's go. Let's go. Anyway, so the site says that the release of it is unknown, which, of course, not surprising. Not shocked, if I'm being honest. But everyone wants to see more of Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian. Lando will focus on the swashbuckling hero, though where exactly on the Star Wars timeline the series will fall remains to be seen. So it's not even going to be a movie, it's going to be a series still? I could have sworn they changed it back from being a movie to a series to a movie again. But hey, let's see. Let's read all this and maybe that'll help. Kennedy recently indicated to Variety that following Solo, a younger versions of iconic characters would not be recasted. She expanded on her comments in her interview with Total Film and gave an update on Lando in the process. I never say never. It's certainly not something that we're doing with any intention right now. We're still talking about Lando with Donald Glover, for instance, but I don't think we would intentionally just look back at some of the characters like Luke and Leia and whatnot and decide to arbitrarily do a story. There would have to be a really strong reason why. I can just tell you it's still happening, and he's very excited about it. So that was back during, of course, Star Wars Celebration of last year, even though I feel like the idea of a Lando movie or series was always in talks since Solo came out. So, of course, the idea of like, hey, people wanted more of Lando, so yeah, here and where this might be something really cool, and maybe it'll be better than Solo if I'm being honest, because like it would be kind of unique, at least to see Lando go from the smuggler that he is to then see him like to where he is in Empire Strikes Back. Like that would be nice. We don't need to see that story, but it would be nice to know and see. Like, hey, he shows up on Cloud City and he becomes elected as the overall overseer of Cloud City, or maybe he I don't know, like something would be neat about that. And if they're gonna do a TV series about Lando, that would be cool. I feel like that would be intriguing. So that could be something exciting, something to be like worth kind of awing over. Me personally, it's cool. It doesn't give me a lot of like excitement or a lot of like I must see this. I don't know. Maybe I need more promise. I don't know what it is. Like the thing is, Solo, even though it's been what feels like almost 10 years since it came out, and it's almost gonna be 10 years since it came out, but it's very eh, but at least Lando was the best part about that movie. Maybe if you get Lord and Miller to be involved and actually have them do the Star Wars series or Star Wars movie instead of how things went with Solo, because originally Lord and Miller were tasked to direct Solo, and then all of a sudden at the last moment or last minute, Ron Howard kind of stepped in, and then Ron Howard had to do reshoots and had to do this and had to do that, and it's like, oh, okay, now it feels very much like, I don't know, a very mix of things. A very mix of a lot of stuff. Ooh! He went flying. He went up and away. Yes, Lando was in Solo, a Star Wars story. That's correct. He was played by Donald Glover. That's exactly what happened. That's why people want more of him as Lando. That's why people want more of Donald Glover. Bye. Bye. There we go. Anywho, let's keep going. So, I don't have anything else to really add. That's pretty much how I feel about the Lando movie. Now this should really turn some heads. Is that not only will we be getting a Rey Star Wars movie, perhaps, and it's still unknown of when that will be coming out, but supposedly Rian Johnson wants to do a Star Wars trilogy of his own. So, The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson must have impressed someone at Lucasfilm and Disney, because just before the film hit cinemas, the studio announced that the filmmaker would be heading up a brand new Star Wars movie trilogy featuring, quote, new characters from a corner of the galaxy that Star Wars lore has never before explored. And even though The Last Jedi was, shall we say, divisive among the Star Wars fate, divisive among the Star Wars faithful, Johnson's still on board. The filmmaker has previously taken to Twitter to respond to rumors the project has been abandoned, and various reports from 2021 signal the project is still happening. Honestly, if Rian Johnson can give us something new, then great. If he could do that, then great. That's all I ask. If it's something new, it's new characters, then fine. But I'm worried that the quotations will be like, quote, new characters in a corner of the galaxy we've never seen before. But then it's the same galaxy we've seen before, like the Outer Rim, or Tatooine, or Hoth, or something that we're familiar with. I don't know, Dagobah. I really don't know. Ooh, actually that reminds me. I think going back to James Mangold for a minute, because James Mangold's Star Wars movie is going to be with the beginning of like the first Jedi, or the first beginning of the Force, kind of like the Ten Commandments, or Sean Levy's Star Wars movie. I think Sean Levy or James Mangold, or even Rian Johnson, which no, actually no, just James Mangold or Sean Levy should do a like a Yoda thing, like a Yoda like prequel, young Yoda, the first Jedi, the firstborn, whatever, Force wielder, whatever shit. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow's just a dream away. Anyways, I think that would be kind of neat. But anyways, back to Rian Johnson. I was about to, the reason why I brought that up is because I was about to say Dagobah, but then it's like, I don't know. Anyways, my point I'm making is I feel like that whole new characters thing could be taken loosely, but I really hope it's just something original and something at least worth saying and worth, I don't know, like, I don't know. I think as the years have gone by, The Last Jedi has become more and more disappointing to me, because I remember when I first saw it, I was like, I kind of like it. It's alright. And then after, like, over the years, I'm like, it's kind of kept developing less and less, because it went from being basically, okay, I like it. It's okay, but I still like it. I don't know if I like it as much, but it's okay. I don't know anymore. I don't know. So, I don't know. Like, I mean, he's a good director. Rian Johnson is a good director. I like him for Knives Out. I like him for Looper. He is really good at things. It's just, it depends on what he writes. It depends on what he's given him. It depends on his free range of creativity. If he can do that, great. If not, then don't bother. Please don't bother. If he's not going to have full control of it, I don't know how much control he had during The Last Jedi. I'm assuming he had full creative control. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. All I know is that I feel like J.J. Abrams didn't really have full control, because he was like, oh, I want to put in what I wanted to establish with my trilogy, but then I also have to retcon or also acknowledge Rian Johnson's stuff, and I have to also finish up the trilogy, and I have to also end the saga, and he had to do so much on his plate. So I have no idea if Rian Johnson had full control. If he did, fine. If he didn't, then this new trilogy better give him the full control that he wants and deserves. So, Jay saying. Oh man. Happy on birthday to you. Oh shit. Let me get out of here. Let me just get out of here. Let me oh. Fuck Knuckles. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna get out of here real quick. Dude, let me get out of here. Wait, let me get out of here. Oh shit, please don't follow my scent. Wait, where'd they go? I'm scared. I'm scared, where are they? Jesus. Please stay there. Please stay there. Please stay there. Please stay there. Oh shit. I might have angered them just a little bit. Might have angered them just a tiny... Oh shit, yeah. He got a little angry at me. A little angry at me. Let me get out of here, let me get out of here, let me get out of here. Quick, 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 let me get out of here before they start coming after me. And then breaking my neck. To you.
Twinkle, little bat, how I wonder where you're at.
I don't remember the rest of the words, but yeah. So, just as long as it's promising, just as long as it's good. I don't know about that with the whole thing with Octavia. It's just the fact of she just is not that she has trouble expressing herself, but I feel she's in her world to escape from both attributes of her parents. The dilemmas of her parents going through the divorce, dealing with both her mother who's a bitch and her father who is pretty much very emotional, very, I hate to say this, but sometimes maybe could be unstable with his emotions, and probably the same thing with Stella. And also having the fact that you have your, basically, if you're in Octavia's, I guess, clause, you have a father that is in love with an imp, having sex and having an affair, and the two, like, your father not getting along with your mother, and you're just overwhelmed with so much, maybe you don't want to talk about it. And so maybe you need someone that is someone in your caliber, someone in your circle, someone in your demographic to really be like, hey, because Luna, no matter how old she acts like a teenager. Her and Octavia act like teenagers. So to have a teen react and kind of have a conversation with another teen to be like, hey, I know what you're going through, parents suck, people are shitty a little bit and things like that, but hey, sometimes they're not all that bad. So to have someone, like, again, human ingenuity, human connection. So maybe, I don't know. But I don't think Octavia suffers from social skills. Well, Lando has nothing to do with Rogue One. Like, the solo Star Wars movie has nothing to do with Solo Star Wars movie has nothing to do with Rogue One. I mean, they're prequels, but there's no real connection of them being in, like, I don't know, there's not real any, well, let me take that back. Everything's obviously connected, but it's not like Han Solo knew any of those Rogue, knew any of the Rogue Squadron, Rogue One rebels, or was a part of the rebellion. Like, Han Solo was still being Han Solo. And who's shooting me? Who just shot me? Oh, you! Okay. Alright. Them's fighting words, Bob. Let's go. Let's go. Where are you at? Let's go. Let's go, motherfucker. Summon? Who am I supposed to summon? Who can I summon at this time? Think you can try and kill me? I don't think so. Wait, get back up, get back up, get back up. That was easy. That was easy. But yeah, I think Han Solo wasn't even a part of the rebellion, or even was like on Mos Eisley during Rogue One. Like in Solo, it literally implies that he joined the Empire, left the Empire, and then went to do his own thing, met up with Lando, did the Kessel Run, and yeah, he met freaking what's her name, Kira. Yeah, Kira, I think it was Emilia Clarke's character. So I think I hear this. I think I hear the song from Enchanted. I mean, I don't know why they have faith in the show. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What do I know? So far, I've just felt that the Acolyte series has cool characters. Like a majority of the characters are cool. Like I like the Jedi Master we follow. I already forgot his name, but he's the guy from Squid Games. I like that we follow him. He's actually a really cool Jedi. I like him. I like Daphne Keen. I like her name is Jecki. Her name is Jecki. Her character's name is Jecki. I like her. She's cool. I like them too. I wish there was more of them, if I'm being honest. I wish there was more of them, and I wish there was more of Kyrian Moss. I wish there was more of Trinity in the show. But the problem is, spoiler, she's dead already. So we only see flashbacks of her, and it's like, ugh, you still killed Trinity. How dare you? How dare you spit in our face and say, we just killed Carrie-Anne Moss. Her, like, yeah. I'm sorry. But, like, those are the only three characters that I really find the most interesting, and at least not compelling, but they're cool to me. They're at least, like, intricate. And everybody else is kind of just okay. Like, I like the Wookiee, but he hasn't done anything for me that I would go ahead and say, yep, best character right there. Boom, best character. It's just literally him being just there. And then Ki-Adi-Mundi is just there because, hey, remember that guy? Yeah, he's here. And which that creates a loophole that everyone's really make a big deal out of, which I don't blame people for, but it's interesting how people are really super on the whole thing that Ki-Adi-Mundi's in the show and it totally just changes everything. And I'm like, I guess it does. Like, I guess I'm not overreacting like everybody else. I mean, hey, everyone deserves to overreact about this because, in a sense, yeah, this dude knew about the first Sith and never said anything during the Phantom Menace when the Emperor and Darth Maul returned. Like, when the Jedi Council was going, he didn't speak up and say, hey, by the way, actually, this is not the first time that the Sith have returned. This is not the first that we've seen them. I saw this years ago with the weird, mysterious, smiling helmet guy, and I don't know why I made him British, but he's not British, but apparently I made Ki-Adi-Mundi British. But still, apparently, there was a smiling helmet guy with a Sith lightsaber, and he was way, way before we knew of this Darth Sidious guy and Darth Maul, so yeah. He didn't say shit. He didn't say anything to really be like, okay. Like, again, this is what kind of drives me up the wall of prequels, is that you have things that they establish, or they have characters that they establish, and you know that it's just gonna be like, oh, that's gonna, like, take this for example. Take this. So, we have X-Men First Class, right? This is not the worst thing about X-Men First Class. I like X-Men First Class, but this is my only nitpick with X-Men First Class, is that we're introduced to these characters, like these other characters like Emma Frost, we see, I think it's, is it Sebastian Shaw? Yeah, well actually, yeah, Sebastian Shaw, we have Emma Frost, we have a villain named Azazel, and we have all these other characters like, Havoc, and, other people that are in this movie, and it's like you have these characters that we have never seen at all in the X-Men movies going forward. So it's either you just don't acknowledge their existence, or you kill them. And you know what happens to half these characters? They're dead. Emma Frost, dead, or she's nowhere to be found. Sebastian Shaw, dead. Havoc, nowhere to be found, or does not get mentioned, or I think he's killed. Banshee, I think, dies. Azazel, gone. Like, you have these characters that you're like, yep, that's because it's a prequel, and if you have a prequel, you have to kill off these characters that have very zero significance to the franchise, even though you introduce these characters for just one movie, and just to kill them. So, it's one of those things where you add something or you bring in something, and then you have you go, okay, so Phantom Menace, this was the first time apparently the Sith had returned. Now because of the show, it's technically the second or third time the Sith have returned. So it really just goes to show it's a whole lot of baloney. But I don't know. I want to have benefit of the doubt for this show, but when you have the mystery of who done it in Star Wars already revealed that it was one of the sisters. I forgot which sister it was. I think it's May or whatever her name is. You already reveal who the murderer is. It's not that compelling anymore. It just feels kind of like, again, there's no real sense of urgency. There's no sense of danger. There's no sense of emergency that, oh my gosh, we need to act fast. This is just like, yeah, let's just get there. We'll get there. Like, at least, again, when the Emperor and Darth Maul returned, Qui-Gon was like, hey, yo, guys, the Sith are back. Whoa, the Sith are back. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. What do you think of this? And everyone's stirring up chatter because it's like, we haven't seen the Sith in years. And now they've returned out of nowhere, and it's a big thing. It's a big deal. So it's like, we gotta take care of Darth Maul and find out who his master is ASAP. Okay, Count Dooku is a part of this new senator or this new separatist army. Who is he working for? We need to find out who he is. We need to find out who, now that Dooku's dead, General Grievous is out there still. Who is still under the Senate, under the separatists, and what do we have left? We have like a sense of, let's do something. Let's fucking go. You know? It feels at least consistent. And then I just don't like the main lead. I don't like the lead. She's not that really interesting. She's just, hey, I am token girl because I need to be skin color girl because we need more skin color. And I have nothing against skin color or representation or anything in like fiction, but it just feels forced. It feels forced to have this girl of skin color be a woman and be the one that's like, oh, we're born from the thread, or we're born from being this chosen one, if you will. It's dumb. And I don't like the name, and I think what really made me check out with this character was that she was called Osha. I was like, oof. I was like, sounds like Asha. So, yeah. So, nothing against the actress, but I'm not feeling your character. Like, I'm having PTSD of skin-colored women and as female protagonists in the latest Disney projects, and it really, oof, it shows, oof. I'm sorry, but it's true. It is true. Okay, what the fuck is this? Give me a second, people. Don't care for what that was, but no. But let's get back to things. Let's get back to stuff. Alright, so the next thing that we're gonna go into was, so we did the Lando movie, or the Rian Johnson trilogy, I should say. And the next thing that's on this site was, well, hold on, let's see how many more projects we have, and then we'll take it from there. So there's that. So one, two. Oh, we're going to after that. So that's it. Oh, so after the Rogue Squadron movie, we're going to the canceled Star Wars films so far. So there's one, two. What else is there? Yeah, I think that's it. We have two more things, and everything else is just kind of announcing and basically saying that, hey, there were other Star Wars canceled projects and spin-offs and other jazz, and then talking about what's coming up, what's next, what's the latest with Star Wars, what's next after Acolyte. It's what is it? Star Wars, of course, Acolyte season 1, and then what was the other thing it showed? Where is it? Where is it? I went too far down. Hold on. So, huh? Okay. Oh. 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 Okay. 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 We'll get to those, and we'll briefly touch on those lastly. But the Rogue Squadron film is supposed to be directed by Patty Jenkins, and if it'll finally load, that'd be great. So back in December of 2020, Disney announced that Wonder Woman 1984 helmer Patty Jenkins was expected to take the reins on the next Star Wars movie in production, titled Rogue Squadron. Since then, it's been on and off again, sort of thing, with Jenkins updating everyone in March of this year, suggesting it would be back on track. Or back on rack. I don't know why it says that, but back on track, most likely. So, I mean, people wanted a Rogue Squadron movie. Or not movie, well, something with Rogue Squadron, and people thought Rogue One was the closest thing to Rogue Squadron, which is cool, and people love Rogue Squadron. We have the old Star Wars game for the NES or for the Nintendo, or whatever it was from, or for whatever console it was for. People love it, so there's a demand for it, and I mean, good for people. I wouldn't mind a Rogue Squadron movie. If it can be done, great. I feel like you have someone that could maybe handle something like Rogue Squadron. That would be cool. I mean, Patty Jenkins did do Wonder Woman, like the first Wonder Woman. I think we forget how good that was, because the way she was able to do World War II, I feel like she could do a war movie, and to have her do a Star Wars movie would be pretty epic. I think it could be promising. It has potential. It definitely has potential for sure. I have no doubts, but I have no high expectations, so I have myself at a very minimal bar of like, yeah, cool, this happens, great, but hopefully it'll give us something and it won't disappoint us. Yeah, I'll get into Skeleton Crew in a moment. I know you guys got a whole other thing. You and Juan are going off. That's just great. This is great. I love that you guys are kind of going on about things. And don't be shy, everybody else that wants to leave stuff in the chat. I think the thing was with the Force Awakens, it's hard to really now look at that movie because I really loved The Force Awakens when it first came out. I was like, wow, this is really cool. You know, like, yes, it's got a familiarity of, it's like A New Hope. It's like the first Star Wars movie again. But I think that was a good, safe bet to play in that same sandbox that J.J. Abrams was like, hey, let's remember a time when we loved Star Wars. When we had this feeling of, like, this optimistic nobody from a desert planet and discovers she is force sensitive and is connected to the force and connected to the bigger picture of things and all that other stuff. So it did the similar beats of a droid has secret plans to a big epic space station that's going to blow up an entire galaxy, and it's up to our main characters to form a rebellion, a resistance, a revolution, some sort of mutiny against the big tyranny dictatorship. So it was familiar, but it was new, and it had all these things of question, like who is Snoke, what's the deal with Kylo Ren, and all this stuff that was very much like, wow, this is all just really cool. It was great. It felt good to be a Star Wars fan. And The Last Jedi kind of just, I don't know, just really hit a really bittersweet spot for people. And then I think The Rise of Skywalker didn't help much at all, if I'm being honest. So I'll try and read your stuff, Juan. I know it's a lot, but I'll try to as much as possible because I did see the thing with the campers. That's literally the episode I was just talking about, with Luna talking to Octavia. Because she's like, yeah, dads are pretty shitty, but they sometimes mess up, and you know, sometimes they're trying their best, and it's okay. I think that was really comforting. That was actually good. I don't know. I haven't seen The Force Awakens in a while. Down and go, do I still love it as much as I did back in 2015? Because I was just so in such like bewilderment and wonder that I was like, wow, I was like, we got a Star Wars movie again after so many years, and it felt so satisfying. It felt really good. It was my favorite movie of that year. So I don't know, but let's get back to now. Now all those projects are still unknown. There's still no releases and all that stuff. But I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past them if they make these movies released. They make these movies like within 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031, and 2032. I feel like those are going to be like the big releases and the big like release dates for these films. I wouldn't put it past them. I feel like the last Star Wars movie they could put out, which would be 2032, which could be Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie. That'd be great. End it off with the Thrawn trilogy, or end it off with the end of the Thrawn era, and there you go. That'd be perfect if I'm being honest. So that'd be pretty cool. I think that would be nice. So that's just my 2 cents. I think that should be the last Star Wars movie they ever do, and then let people be like, wow, that was Star Wars. That was great. It's good to be a Star Wars fan again, and let people just feel welcomed again, to have that feeling in their head and inside their hearts. So I think that would be great, especially Dave Filoni wants to build up to something, so let him build up to something. Let him have his Avengers moment. Let him have a true Avengers moment with having your ragtag group of people stop a big threat and save the world and save the galaxy until we get to the of course, The Force Awakens. So yeah, but now we go into the canceled projects that we have. So the first one is, which this is kind of interesting and kind of surprising, but let's see if we'll find out why, is that the first canceled project is a Star Wars movie that was going to be directed by Kevin Feige. And now I'm surprised because Kevin Feige has a really good relationship with Disney. He's been doing the MCU since Joss Whedon left, and he's been helping forge the MCU even before Joss Whedon helped and came in to do the Avengers and Age of Ultron and everything else in between. He has been the eye-seer of the MCU. So it's so surprising that literally Disney said, no, sorry Kevin, or maybe he just didn't have the time, but let's find out. So, Marvel mastermind Kevin Feige had reportedly been brought on board to help shape the future of Star Wars, but this is another project that Variety reports is no longer in active development. That's not a huge surprise considering just how full the producer's plate is with the MCU. So, pretty much stuff like that. Pretty much him just luckily it's just a perspective that he's just so caught up with the MCU and he's got a lot on his plate, so he's like, no, I can't do a Star Wars project. I can't help Star Wars. I wish I could. I want to help Star Wars, but I can't. I'm tasked with all these other things that we're going to do for the MCU, and hopefully we can fix with the multiverse saga, and we can bring in the X-Men, and that seems like that's his goal, is he wants to somehow make the multiverse saga work, and then also have the X-Men come into play. So, I'm hoping that's where his head is and his mindset is at. Other canceled Star Wars movies. Reports emerged in February 2020 that J.D. Dillard, best known for the film Slate, was working on a feature-length project with Luke Cage and Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. scribe Matt Owens. The Hollywood Reporters first announced the news, with Deadline claiming that the movie would be set in the Sith planet Exegol. An Exegol associated Sith movie? I mean, I think anything that's associated with the rise of Skywalker just kind of doesn't need to have another introduction or another explanation, if you will, because a lot of that Rise of Skywalker shit was things they just threw out there, like, hey, was Finn supposed to be force sensitive? What was Finn and Rey? What was that whole discussion gonna be about? And all of a sudden, the hopes the hopes and proposition of that Rey is related to the Emperor and also the other things, and introducing dyads and introducing Sith holocrons, and yes, Sith holocrons and all this other stuff have existed for years, but never in the films. It's weird, but it's, I don't know, it's a weird borderline thing, because you have Force healing, and you have Sith holocrons that have existed since the TV shows and the cartoons, but they never established it and said, hey, this is stuff that's in the movie verse. You know, not that the shows felt separated, but I feel like people would look, like, if people didn't watch Clone Wars, they'd look at that and go, what the fuck? You could heal in Star Wars? You know? Like, that would probably piss people off, and especially when you have Qui-Gon, the joke of that, Qui-Gon Jinn got stabbed in the chest, and he died, but yet anybody else that got stabbed in the chest, in the heart, in the rib cage, anywhere in the abdomen, anywhere in the stomach, anywhere in the body, anywhere in the torso, is like, I'm fine. Literally, Sabine from Ahsoka got stabbed from the Sith apprentice girl, and then all of a sudden she's nursed back to health and was like, I'm okay, I'm fine, I survived a stab wound, it's all good. It's like she just tripped on a it's like if you trip over asphalt, you walk it off. Like, this is not the same level of pain. We're talking about a fucking pierce through the body, and apparently the only person that dies from that is good old Liam Neeson. So that's a whole ordeal. But anyways, let's move on and see if there's anything else that was canceled. Sean Levy? No, that's something else. Something with Game of Thrones people. I think they wanted to do Old Republic, which that would have been fucking cool. Or the High Republic, even though the Acolyte is kind of High Republic-like. But I think there's more of, like, the High Republic would have been actually more like the High Republic than what Acolyte is. What else is there? Any more Star Wars stuff? Let's see. The original plan when Disney bought Lucasfilm for upwards of $4 billion was to release standalone anthology movies between the all-new saga episodes. That meant the 2-year gaps between The Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker were to punctuate by Rogue One and Solo. At one point, it looked like there would be a third Star Wars story after the Rise of Skywalker, and then relatively spin-off, sequel, Solo's conclusion, setting up a sequel, Star Wars movie centered on Boba Fett. We talked about that a little bit. With Josh Trank? Originally Josh Trank for Boba Fett. That's interesting. Fantastic. Ooh, that's kind of rough. Oh, it's very rough. I don't think that's smart. But hey, at least it says here, Trank at the helm after that. According to reports that they were never confirmed by Disney. Logan's James Mangold, however, this morphed into The Mandalorian, and later Fett's origin spin-off, The Book of Boba Fett. Okay. So that's very interesting. What else was there? Other spin-offs. A frontrunner for a standalone movie for Obi-Wan Kenobi. That turned into a spin-off series, of course. Let's see, there was always a future for Solo, as Kennedy has told Total Film, which I think is total BS, because at this point, I don't think there's going to be anything with Solo. I know they set up the whole thing with the Crimson Dawn and Darth Maul, and for whatever reason they wanted to do that, and that was cool fan service, but kind of feels weird if all of a sudden, like, Maul is after Solo for whatever reason, or for something, I don't know, it needs to be justified. I mean, I love me some Darth Maul, I love me some Ray Park, I love me some Sam Witwer, but there's gotta be like a method here. There's gotta be at least reasoning, because I just remember him just standing there and going, "You have disappointed me, Kira. You are gonna come to Dathomir, and we'll begin your training." And that was it. And even Solo builds up the whole thing of, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna go do my Han Solo stuff." I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe he would have came across Boba Fett. Maybe we would have saw why Dengar hates him so much, and why Boba Fett is pissed at him as well. Yeah, my thoughts too, Milo. Yes. I know. I hear you. Jesus. Anyways, I think that's all the projects, but here's what we have coming up. So new shows for Star Wars to look forward to. So here's stuff that if you guys aren't feeling any good about any of these projects that have been canceled, or any of these projects that have been confirmed or announced or anything like that, feel free to leave your thoughts down below. If not, if you just don't care for Star Wars, maybe this will turn your page and maybe change things for you. But September 13th of this year, we're gonna have the Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. It's a very weird, like, Star Wars what-if-y thing, where apparently we alter the universe, and for fans that wanted this for so long, people wanted Darth Jar Jar. Now he exists in Lego, so there's a Darth Jar Jar, there's a whole joke with Luke, there's a whole thing with all these characters. Some of it's funny, some of it's not. And actually, it's kind of funny. Star Wars is basically releasing its own version of Marvel's What If. So, yeah, there you go. People have been saying Jar Jar's a Sith Lord, and I don't like that people have tried to confirm it and say that, and even George Lucas was trying to say that. I was like, oh, God, please stop it, please stop. But now it's a thing, so I mean, at least they're playing it up in Lego form. It's not a real thing. If they all of a sudden brought this up in live action, I'd kill myself. Not literally. I'm just being exaggerant. It's just the point. I'd be like, I could not take this serious anymore. I would not be able to take Star Wars serious anymore if it just all of a sudden just flat out said, you know what, let's make that a real thing, that Jar Jar is actually a Sith Lord, and that let's embrace the meme. Let's embrace the meme of it all. So, anyways. So you have that to look forward to in the next couple of months, so literally 6 days before my birthday, which is interesting. Skeleton Crew, which comes out this year as well, but there's no release date. There's no confirmation of when this comes out. It just says of this year, which kind of concerns me, because I'm like, okay, when is this supposed to come out? Because we haven't seen a trailer, we haven't seen anything whatsoever. Maybe they're waiting until Acolyte is over, but all I know is that there hasn't been anything that has given me hope about this. This idea sounds really cool, but I just don't know. I'm just concerned because I'm like, oh yeah, that's still a thing, because it's just there. It's just randomly there, and I'm like, okay, so is this happening? It makes me just concerned. It just makes me very concerned that they might push it back or they might do something else. So far the Skeleton Crew it has Jude Law in it, or Judd Law. I don't care how you pronounce it, but still, it has him as one of the characters, and if it'll show me the description, Spider-Man No Way Home director John Watts' Amblin-esque Star Wars project was announced at Star Wars Celebration 2022. Skeleton Crew, which will star Jude Law, is coming to Disney+. The first teaser was unveiled exclusively at Star Wars Celebration in 2023. It looks like Star Wars' answer to the Goonies. Huh, I didn't know that. Okay. It will follow a group of children trying to make their way home through the galaxy. We got our first look at the young cast thanks to some leaked merchandise. Huh. Okay, so hopefully it happens and we get a trailer soon. Like, apparently, for any of you that saw the Skeleton Crew and their trailer and their teaser at Star Wars Celebration, you guys got to see it at Star Wars Celebration, but hey, if we get one after anytime soon, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. I think that'd be kind of cool. So that way I can feel a little bit more hopeful about this show. But that's interesting. Not what I would have thought, but that's interesting. Now that makes sense. Goonies. Star Wars meets Goonies. I like that kind of. I have no idea what this is all about, but let me see. So, it's unique in a way, but it also feels very consistent. Okay. Wait, hold on. Young people living in this world is very different than what we've seen from, let's say, Luke Skywalker's childhood and such. He continued, so there's a lot of uniqueness to it. Okay, it's okay. I was wondering, what did Luke Skywalker have to do with this? I was like, what? Okay. I'm trying to read if there's anything else that seems interesting or anything anything to add to the Skeleton Crew, because the next thing, which no surprise is also happening, is Andor Season 2. That has a release of unknown, but I mean, sure. I know a lot of people really liked Andor, and good for everybody, but for whatever reason, I just couldn't get behind it. I like it, but I don't like it at the same time. I'm very in the middle. I think I'm in the minority with Skeleton Crew, with Andor, because I remember I was like, okay, Cassian Andor is an okay character to follow, and I think there was things that I liked, and then there's things I just didn't get behind. I'll have to revisit it, but I think it was one of those I was like, I don't know how I feel. But I was just so baffled by everyone saying this is the best Star Wars show ever, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe it's because it's like war. There's no real lightsabers. There's just war, and it's just soldiers and the rebellion and dictatorship and the Empire rising and the fall of the Republic and everything. And I'm like, okay, great, cool, but I don't know, there's some things that just didn't work for me. I'll have to maybe go back eventually and be like, okay, maybe this still works, maybe this doesn't work as well, or who knows, we'll see. However, I like those parodies. I like them. They're not really parodies. I mean, Family Guy parodied Star Wars. Phineas and Ferb kind of did its own continuation or its own story by having Phineas and Ferb featured in the Star Wars universe. And Robot Chicken's very hilarious when it comes to some of their stuff. I do like Spaceballs. I love Spaceballs. That's a parody that I will consider a parody. I miss when parodies were good. I miss when they were good. Those were the days. Young Frankenstein, Robin Hood, Men in Tights. Even these aren't parodies, but these are like the type of, I'd put these movies in that category of that type of comedy. Is like Monty Python, The Holy Grail, and The Life of Brian. Those I'd put in that same category, because they have this same like humor, in my opinion, and like it just that old feel of humor that you don't get often, but it's funny to me. I love it. But anyways, yeah, I'm like, okay, season 2, sure, I guess. Even though I feel like it could have been a one-off season thing, but everyone likes it, so good for people. It's gonna get another season, so good for them. Not my cup of tea. And speaking of another not my cup of tea, is season 4 of Mandalorian. And I love the Mandalorian. I love the show as a whole. I love it altogether. First 2 seasons are fantastic. Third one's okay, but I don't know. I feel like this is like season 4 is just a little hey, this is filler until we get to the Mandalorian Grogu movie. But I don't know. I feel like you can literally, I feel like season 4 you don't need, because literally you can just give the Mandalorian a break, because I guarantee you this season is going to come out next year. I guarantee you, it doesn't say when it comes out, but I guarantee you they're going to announce that the Mandalorian Season 4 is going to come out next year. They're going to push for 2025, and then that way, by 2026, you see them again, literally again, in their own Star Wars movie. I feel like, one, this is like, you don't need a Season 4, because you can literally just pick up from Season 3 into the movie. We see Mando and Grogu just retired and they're just enjoying their easy life as father and adopted son. And you can literally have all of a sudden something happens. Oh no, distress from the resistance, or from oh shit, you can't have grief cargo. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, Carl Weathers. That's right. Yeah, you can't even have him show up anymore. Yeah. But you'd have somebody basically give him a distress call. Like maybe it's that that one X-Wing pilot guy that likes Mando and was like, hey Mando, there's trouble, we need you. Or hey, you think you can take care of our situation? The Empire is gone, but we have this new dude showing up, this new guy. Who is this new guy? His name's Thrawn. He's apparently Moff Gideon knew of Grand Admiral Thrawn. They were trying to bring him back and his return and all. Uh-oh, let me get involved. And there you go. There's your Mandalorian Grogu movie. That's literally is your movie. I feel like you don't need a season 4 for that reason. And plus, number 2, the reason why I say you don't need a season 4 is because we're literally gonna see them. We're literally gonna see Mando and Grogu in their own film, and I feel like you should give them a little bit of a break. Like, I know that makes money. I know Grogu, Baby Yoda, makes that money. He makes that merch. He makes that moolah. He makes that dough. But I feel like if you just literally, like, 2023 was when we saw season 3, right? Give it literally 3 years later. Let that sit. And then have people excited for Mando again. And don't get me wrong, I feel like they're going to make a phenomenal season and a great trailer that'll get me excited, and I'll be eating my own words saying that, oh man, this is so good. And I was like, yeah, I said so much bat shit about them, about a 4th season, that now I'm like, haha. I have to apologize, everybody. I feel like I'd be in that situation, in that predicament. But I'm just saying, as of right now, I just don't think there needs to be a 4th season. I feel like you can literally just give these characters a little bit of like downtime, and then have people be like, oh, I miss seeing Grogu, I miss seeing the Mando, I miss seeing that world and how good it is, because Star Wars has been shit. And next you know, 2025 drops with a trailer for the Mando and Grogu movie, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, 2026, this is gonna be so awesome, it's gonna be 3 years since we've seen them. Like, that would be cool. That would feel anticipated. That'd be worth it. That'd be earned. I don't know, maybe I'm reaching too much for it, maybe I'm expecting too much, but I'm just saying. And then same goes for, well, I don't know, this one I'm indifferent, but at the same time I kind of get, which is Ahsoka season 2. I feel you don't need a season 2, but I feel like you kind of do. I don't know. I mean, it's hard because I feel like, I don't know, this plays into the whole Mando and Din Djarin and Baby Yoda. They're that dynamic, and they could easily be like, hey, there's a distress signal over in the outer rim, outside the outer rim, the planet of Peridia, or the Sea of Peridia, the Siege of Peridia, whatever it is, Peridia, that's it. And we gotta go investigate it. Let's go rescue Ahsoka. Let's go rescue Sabine. Boom. End. That's the end of your. That could literally. This is actually making me even more like. The logic here is zero, but Disney wants to do this because they want to cram in more seasons and make more money, or I don't know what they're doing. They want to just keep making more of these shows. But literally, I feel like this plays into my whole thing I just said. If you take out season 2 of Ahsoka and season 4 of Mando, and you have literally the Mandalorian Grogu movie. Hey, it's retirement for us. All of a sudden, distress call. Hey, we've picked up a signal over past the outer rim, and it's your old friend Ahsoka. She needs your help. What does she need my help for? It's someone dangerous. His name's Admiral Thrawn. Moff Gideon has been trying to bring him back, and now he's back. Oh, I know of Moff Gideon, so let's go wreck some shit and go take care of this guy. Go save Ahsoka, and then rendezvous us back, and we'll figure out a plan to take out Thrawn and his army. Okay, so you have this big space journey and this space adventure of him going to rescue Ahsoka, and then at the end, hey, it's good to see you again. Turns around, there's Rosario Dawson. And then boom, roll credits, and then that's building up to the next movie, where it's like, there's Ahsoka, Sabine, Grogu, Mando, and it's like, okay, it's the four of us, who else should we get involved? Well, I know my friend Ezra, great, who else should we have involved? Well, I do know this other guy, you know him too, he also trained the little one right there. Him? Yeah, him, he's gonna help. You're gonna get his help? Yes, I'm gonna get his help. And then you get your team, you get Luke, you get Ezra, you get whoever else, if you want Boba Fett in there, and there you go, there's your team going up against good old Admiral Thrawn, take out his ship, take out his troops, take out the Night Sisters and the witches, and there you go. And that's the end of it. I feel like that feels more conclusive and feels more, I don't know, that sounds better, not to toot my own horn, but that sounds better than having to, I don't know, maybe they got something better cooking up for season 4 and season 2 of Ahsoka and season 4 of The Mandalorian, but for me, I feel like I can do less without them. So I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority. Do you guys want these seasons? Do you guys want these shows? Obviously, this is not like something I can give and take to you all, but from what we've gathered today, how do we feel about all of this? From any of these projects, really. And if you guys want, you can leave stuff in the comments at the end of this video if you're catching us out on the replay. And don't worry, I see you, Cassie. Anyways, let's keep going a little bit. I'm almost done, and then I'm gonna go eat. I need to eat. I'm gonna make myself pancakes and just enjoy the rest of the day to myself and do whatever. And then, what's the final project? How many more do we have? That's it! Last story is a droid story, apparently, which is interesting. So let's see. This one's a little different. Lucasfilm Animation and Lucasfilm's visual effects team in Industrial Light and Magic are teaming up for a Disney Plus movie, a droid story. This epic journey will introduce us to a new hero guided by legendary duo R2-D2 and C-3PO. Read the synopsis. Well, anything with our two favorite droids in will be worth a watch. So we can't wait to see how this will look. And that's literally everything. So that actually is kind of cool. That's kind of interesting. I kind of like that. It's not the biggest Star Wars story, but I like that. That would be cute, actually. That would be kind of cute. Like, it'd be weird, but I think it'd be cute. Like, 3PO and R2 meeting, like, a new character. And it kind of goes back to when George Lucas said that the perspective of Star Wars was kind of told through the droids. It was told through their perspective. It was told through their viewpoint. The beginning of A New Hope, where we're first introduced to 3PO and R2. Those are our first, not main characters, but those are the first characters we see first. We don't see Luke first. We don't see Han first. We don't see Leia first. We see 3PO and R2, and George purposely did that because it was like in the perspective or in the viewpoint or something of the droids, and it's very interesting in that sense, in that way. So I think them using C-3PO and R2-D2 as like this animated story or live action story with a new character could be neat, could be cool. It could be intriguing. So I will admit that it's not the best thing, but I think it could be something different. And I think maybe Star Wars, I think what it needs is, it needs a little bit different. It needs a little different, but it needs consistency. If you're gonna do something different, actually, you know what? Here's this. If you're gonna do something different, do it with consistency. Do it with some sort of form of, hey, we're doing this, and we're gonna explain this. And I think then that'll keep us at least somewhat at bay. And you got a little bit of time there, buddy. Don't worry, Mage Wolf. You're a little late, but you're on time for a little bit. There's still a few minutes if you guys want. You can leave stuff in the chat. I've pretty much wrapped up everything. I will do time codes at some point later today, and all that funness later on. I'm going to go eat after this, but I will give you guys... I'll give you guys maybe like around like 5 more minutes. We'll discuss some stuff you guys want. If you want, if not, we can just chat. You got questions, any comments, concerns, all that. I have a full website. If you go down in the description page, well, if you want to check out everything that I literally covered, it's all on that website. And then you can go back and check out the time code to check out the stuff and be like, oh, we talked about all these Star Wars projects that were announced and canceled and things that happened in between and what's coming up next for Star Wars. And honestly, it's a lot. It feels like a lot. And I feel it's in the category, it's in the argument that the MCU is, where there's a lot of stuff happening almost every year. And almost every week, and almost every month, it feels like there's something new. And a lot of it, and some of it's been good, and some of it hasn't been good. And I think that's the thing it suffers from. And I feel as long as these projects, as much as I've been saying that these projects will happen like in the next 5 years, that the ones I've announced, I feel like if they announce them and say they will be like after 2030, that will give me hope that these projects will happen and be given time and given enough space and enough for us to sit down and actually be able to have discussions and conversation about Star Wars rather than just going on to the next thing and going on to the next thing and the next thing. Because Star Wars and the MCU are meant to be like these things that you discuss at work, or you have conversations at school and be like, did you see the latest movie? Oh my gosh, what'd you think of what happened? Oh, don't spoil the movie, and even you talk about it on social media. The big things of like, oh my gosh, what happened in this? Oh, this and that. So it feels like it just goes from the next thing to the next to the next. And there hasn't been really much downtime. And I get that the MCU, not to try and talk about it too much, has a lot and it's experimental and it's trying to fix itself, but hopefully like this year and next year Marvel can pick itself up. I hope the same can be done for Star Wars. I don't know. I feel, like I said, as much as I said that that most likely those projects, which I hate to say it, all those projects I said with the Rogue Squadron and Taika's movie and then James Mangold's movie and everything, all of them are all going to happen in like the next 2 years and the next 3 years and the next 4 years. It won't feel like there's enough downtime, and it'll feel like it's got to be like pressed for time and all this other stuff. But I think this should be an opportunity for them to kind of not announce. I think either they should not announce when these movies come out, or they should announce them and say, hey, you'll be seeing these projects in 2030 or 2050, or not 2050, but like 2030, 2034, 2038. Give it enough time for really these movies to be made and worked on and everything. And I feel like, again, just real quick, again, one last time I'm going to bring this up, is Marvel kind of has that kind of going for itself, but kind of doesn't, because right now, we just know of what's happening this year and next year. There hasn't really been any confirmation of what's really coming out in 2026 for the MCU, which might be for the better, because maybe this could be the start of them saying, let's maybe space out our stuff, or let's really prioritize things better. I mean, we don't know when Spider-Man 4 is supposed to come, and as much as that's going to be very much like annoying, because hey, we don't know what's going on with this character in this movie, and will Eternals 2 happen? When is Shang-Chi 2 happening? And all this other stuff. At least, as much as I've argued and said that, at least the bright side is they could be trying to work on production as we speak on some of these, giving us enough time and giving them enough time to say, hey, Spider-Man 4 will come out in, let's say, 2027. Maybe Avengers 5 will be pushed for 2029, and that'd give us more time for us to have Spider-Man 4, Doctor Strange 3, and space things out better, and other stuff like Black Panther 3, and other projects like Daredevil, and Ironheart, and so much other stuff, and so much other promise. So I think that could be the right direction, just as long as it's done with consistency and care. So, that's my whole ordeal. Supposedly it's supposed to be dropping, Cassie. I'm not sure when. It's supposed to be dropping. I don't know when it's supposed to be, but it's supposed to happen soon. I'm hoping before Christmas. Maybe for August. Maybe for this month or August we'll get a trailer, and that way we'll be like, this Christmas you can see Sonic 3 and Shadow and Knuckles on the big screen. Maybe. I hope. I hope. I don't want them holding us off this whole time. So I'm hoping. Getting nervous. Well, not that nervous, but still. I have no idea what that last thing is, but okay. I have no idea what that's all about, but alright. But if you guys have anything else, I will give you guys 3 more minutes, and we will wrap up this stream for today. You talking about Daisy Ridley? I'm very confused. What do you mean by she? Like I don't know. There's a lot of there's a lot of she's in the Star Wars universe, if I'm being frank. Kind of hard to narrow down to which she it is. Ooh, I'll be looking at that later. Anyways. Getting mic in my face. I do like how that looks, that thumbnail. Not to toot my own horn. Ooh, excuse me. Can I edit my live streams from last night? Because I want to fix them real quick. Come on. Survey says... Let's see. Survey says... No. Not yet. I'll have to come back later. Which is weird. But whatever. Whatever. I'll keep that though. Depends on your definition of cartoonish. Depends. Games I've played on the channel aren't really cartoonish, but I mean, I played Security Breach, but I don't consider that cartoonish. I play Kingdom Hearts. I've done Dreamlight Valley. I've done Disney Speedstorm. You can literally, you can go to my channel, check out all my live streams I've done. There's a whole slew of stuff we've done. I did Fall Guys before. I've done... What else have I done? We did Epic Mickey, but I stopped that because I just kinda... Not gave up, but kinda gave up on the whole using like broadcasting and streaming my laptop sort of thing. And I've liked this idea better of using this. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back to that again. We shall see. Maybe I'll do Epic Mickey on here for the PlayStation 4 since it's available. Or we'll just go back to the Wii series. I have no idea. It's been ages since we've done that. It's been literally years since we've done it. I don't have Cuphead. I don't think it's on here. I don't think it's on PlayStation. Okay, that's random, but okay. I have no idea. I think it's on here. I don't know. Oh, I played Bendy. I started Bendy a while ago. I shouldn't have, but I did. What would be considered... What else would be considered animated? Ace Attorney, maybe? Lego? Like Lego Marvel superheroes? I don't know. I don't know what your definition of cartoon is, because... I don't know. That's what I'm maybe thinking of doing as the remake for Epic Mickey, because it's coming to PS4, so I might do that, and maybe we'll just play from we'll play from the beginning? I don't know. I don't know. Well, I think we might do that. We shall see. Maybe I'll just do some stuff off screen and then be like, hey, we'll continue where we were with episode 3, and then we'll do episode 4? I think. It's been a while. It's been a little while. So I don't know. I'll give you guys one more minute and that will be it for today. I don't have a SpongeBob game on here. I do plan to do eventually once we complete one of the series, which is well, hold on. Depending on which series we complete, whatever one that will be, the next game series we'll do when we get back to game series, which again, that's temporarily on hold. When we get back to those series, we'll I have in mind I want to do DC Supervillains, Lego DC Supervillains. There's Digimon, the Cyber Sleuth, and there's a few other things that I have in mind perhaps we will do. No, I haven't played a SpongeBob game. No, I haven't. Maybe one day I will. We shall see. I have no idea. It's not in the cards, but we'll see what happens. I do eventually want to play Kingdom Hearts 3. I've debated about bringing South Park Fractured But Whole to the channel at one point. I debated about that. And I even debated about doing Star Wars Battlefront, but then I was like, I don't want to do the EA version, like the newer versions. I want to do the original. I want to do that shit. That's fun. The newer EA versions feel like just they're cool, but there's not a lot I can really be excited about other than they look great graphically, and they look more polished. They look clean, and they look really like the models look fantastic. But it just the game mechanics and the system is just very meh. It's very like low tier, mid tier. Oh yeah, there's supposedly a whole thing with Kathleen Kennedy getting fired. Honestly, she does. I guess I've had no issue, but at the same time I've had many issues with her because she was the one that basically approved of a lot of these decisions because she works over at Lucasfilm, and even though she worked with George Lucas and worked with Steven Spielberg for years, which still blows my ever-living mind, she worked with those two brilliant geniuses since the beginning of time. She's been with the company, with Lucasfilm, with LucasArts, with that business since the first Star Wars movie, if not since the prequels. But the point is, she's been there from the beginning with Raiders of the Lost Ark. You go and watch the credits of Raiders of the Lost Ark, she's credited. I'm like, holy crap, she's been around since this long? I didn't know that. And it blows my mind that she actually is a part of something good that is associated with Star Wars. But lately, she's been associated with Star Wars that's not so good, because George is no longer involved and hasn't been with Lucasfilm. And I wish Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were like the CEOs of Star Wars, but it's Kennedy that's like the president. So she approves a lot of the stuff and does all the agreements and stuff like that. So it's a whole thing. Yes, that's correct. Mage Wolf is right. I do have a Wii. I don't have a Switch. I've never had a Switch or a Wii U. My fiance has a Switch though, but I don't. One of my friends actually has a Switch, but I don't. But that's okay. Anyways, people, I think that is going to wrap it up. I've used it for streams before in the past. I've used the Wii before years ago. If you literally go to the beginning of this channel, if you go to this channel back in 2021, I was still doing Epic Mickey, and what I did was I literally would take my laptop, put it by the TV screen, record TV screen, and that was the live stream. And I was happy with the quality, but at the same time I didn't like it, so it made me kind of feel a little like, I don't know if I like this style anymore. I don't know. I feel like I want to, like, the more subscribers and the more I do, the more I want to like improve. The more I want to improve myself. I want to improve quality and give you guys better stuff and try to give you stuff like this where it doesn't look like glares on the screen and there's echoing and everything. And yes, there's an echo in my room, I will admit that, but at least you hear me better. Like there's a quality, like the mic I'm using, it's not a professional mic, but at least it's quality enough that sounds better. I mean, when I started using earbuds, I used like my little iPhone earbuds, and there was a little ringing. If you guys go back to like my Madden streams, you'll hear there's like a small ringing of my earbuds making a ringing for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it just would ring. And I was like, why is it doing that? And I never understood why. I wasn't crazy about it, but I worked with it. But once I bought myself an actual headset, I'm like, I got crisper sound here, and it sounds better, and I like that it like improves better. So it made me a little more happier. And then it seems like everyone has been like all right, cool. And I'm glad that you guys are like, nah, it doesn't matter. Quality over like quantity over quality apparently, or well, I don't know. I think your guys' perspective is that it's doesn't like the quality doesn't matter just as long as it's good and you guys enjoy it, I think. But for me, that part of me is like, yeah, I appreciate that, but there is that aspect that makes me go, I don't know if I want to go back. You know, I don't know if I want to go back. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. It won't. Maybe we'll see. But I did try that with Godzilla. I did do the Godzilla thing last year. So, there is that. But, there won't be another stream today. This will be, I have no idea when the next stream will be. Like I said, these little small streams that you guys have been seeing have just been me just streaming and just doing it occasionally because personal stuff's been happening, and so it's kind of affecting my schedule on doing streams. And in this moment in time, I was like, okay, it's not really a smart idea, but I was like, I really would like to stream because I missed the feeling of streaming. So I was like, I'll do a few streams last week. So last week I literally did a few streams. Actually, not even last week, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I did a few streams because I was like, I missed streaming. I missed doing that. It was fun. It was great. It was fantastic. I felt good to be actually talking with you all in this community live, because I like the idea of like, hey, the comments in the chat are different aspects of communicating and creating community with you all, because it's my way of looking at it is I like to have my cake and eat it. You know, I like to have my cake and eat it. So the cake is obviously the comments, because I'm like, okay, I do more videos. I've been doing a lot more videos and more videos and more videos. But then when I do live streams, I miss that aspect of the actual live reactions with all of you while we're doing this in real time. Even if I fumble, even if I don't fumble, even if whatever it is, even if we catch something that happens and we just have this really cool moment of like, whoa, we just captured that live. That just happened in real time. You know, things like that to have in real time, whether it's funny, whether it's something something funny, something worth just whatever talking about, whatever the case is, anything you find out of this or any stream that makes you go, that happened during that time and this point in this moment. So I like that. So it's like the icing on the cake. So I've had to separate the icing and the cake for a while, and so these past few weeks I was like, you know what, I want to put that together again just for this time, and hopefully once things are somewhat normal, I can then go back and we can start Spider-Man, maybe we can start Security Breach, start those things again. But when we get back to series, when we get back to gaming series, you guys will see when I upload episode 10 of Spider-Man. When you see that thumbnail, you guys will know. If you don't see that and I'm live and it's something random like, say, this or Injustice or whatever you guys would think, maybe even Dreamlight Valley, even though that's technically a game series we've developed, that's still something we can probably do like in the free time and in the meantime. But my point is, if you see something other than Spider-Man, Security Breach, Kingdom Hearts, Jedi Fallen Order, or Bendy, that means that we're not doing game series. That's still temporary. And that's still on hold. But if you see Spider-Man episode 10, then that means we're back to business. So until then, just there'll be occasional stuff. I have no idea when, but there'll be occasional stuff. I have Wii Sports. Yes, I do. I have Wii Sports. I have Wii Sports Resort. Those are my favorite games from the Wii. And it used to be Skylanders used to be my favorite, but then I liked Disney Infinity. And then when I got Disney Infinity 2.0 for the PlayStation 3, then I started to like the PlayStation 3 more than the Wii. And I have nothing against the Wii, but I like the handheld controller versus the motion controller. And I still have a soft spot for the motion controller. It's fun. It's active. But I think because my first ever controller I held was technically a PlayStation. So I liked that. And then when we got the Wii, I was like, this is weird. And then I got used to it over the years, but I still have a soft spot for it. But hell, oh, never mind. But hell, I still like the Wii. I have nothing against it. You can, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't think that's going to be a priority of mine, but we'll see. However, if you're really curious to see my Wii stuff, like if you're really itching for Wii content right now, you can go find it, scroll down to my live streams. It's all the way at the end, all the way at the bottom, or you can find my old channel, and it's like inactive, but that's where I was like, I did more Wii Sports Resort, I did random stuff, like I literally, before I realized I could PlayStation broadcast on here, I recorded Sonic Forces on my laptop, and I streamed that as well. But anyways, that is all I'm going to say. I'm going to wrap it up here, folks. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, if you like this video, please smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to obviously every day, if not every week. Make sure you ring that bell to new videos every week. Share the video with family, friends, all the good stuff and more. Leave suggestions down in the comments. You name it, I'll do as best as possible. I'm probably gonna go eat. I think I'm gonna give up on eating pancakes. I'll just make myself a sandwich. I'm lazy right now. But anywho, you guys could go check out my last live streams. Last night I literally did Marvel vs. Capcom. That kind of got crashed a few times, but I would appreciate some love from those. If you like, give it a good thumbs up. Maybe give it a few comments. Give it some love over there. And also, since those two crashed in the middle of me streaming, I will mention who was in the chat during those streams, and I'll mention who was here. But first, I'm going to mention who was here first in this stream. So for anyone that did leave a comment or leave something in the chat during the live stream, you guys get shoutouts. So it's like shoutout hype. Like, shoutouts to everyone that basically left a comment, left a question, said hi, said how are you doing, communicated with all of each other, whatever the case is. If it's something that you left there in the little black box that is the chat and next to my profile, then you guys get shoutouts. And if you want to get shoutouted, then just feel free to leave something. Even if you just say hi. Even if you just say hi. That is one step closer to being mentioned and just getting shoutouts. So, Kevin Barnett was here for this stream. Kevin Burnett was here. Tom was here. Mike from Did You Z that was here. Juan Torres was here. Let's see. Geeky PJ. Mage Wolf was here. I saw Sister Cassie was here. Who else was here? Jamar was here. Like I said, Mage was here. And I think that was everybody from this stream. Now, from the last streams, we're going to go take a look at those real quick. And I'm going to find who was there during those live streams. I'll shout out to everybody there. Let me go back. So first was the first part we're going to mention. And if I can see the live chat, that'd be great. If not, that's kind of annoying. Although, I think it's not going to show me the live chat right now, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. But from judging based on the chat from just my screen, because it won't show me the live chat, but based on the chat on the screen, Mage Wolf was there, Alucard was there, Brandon Williams was there, Juan Torres was there, Geeky PJ was there, who else was there? Cyber Rogue was there, Steven Armu was there. It's either Steven or Stefan, but I'm assuming it's Steven, like Stephen Strange, because Stephen Strange's name is spelled like that, S-T-E-P-H-E-N. Ruben was there, and then, let me make sure I didn't disclude anybody from that. Juan, I said you. Steven. Yeah, okay, everybody's there. So that was part 1. Now part 2 had... Where's part 2? Part 2. Part 2. Mini dos. I said Alucard. I said him already. I made sure I saw that already. Let's see, part 2. Where are you, part 2? Mic in my face almost. Okay, so part 2 had Mage Wolf again. It had Cyber Rogue again. It had Alucard again. Was Ruben here for this one? I think you were. I don't remember. Give me a second, folks. I want to see real quick if there was. Ruben. R-U-E-B-E-E-N. It is Ruben. Is there a Ruben? I don't see a Ruben. Maybe there was a Ruben. Anyways. Yeah, there was Ruben. Yeah, okay. So Ruben was there for part 2. The mini part. Mini dos. Numero dos. Who else showed up? Did Steven show up? Or, yeah, did Steven show up? I don't remember. Also, I know someone named Steven that spells his name like that. By the way. I said you, Mage Wolf. Geeky PJ. Jamari. And... who else was there? Who else? Anybody else? Okay, now that was it. No! Stop it! Okay, there we go. There, I paused that for later. There we go, okay. Alrighty, so that was everybody. So I hope you all appreciated that. And if you wanted to get shout-outed from those previous streams, come check this out and hear all the shout-outs and all the appreciation that you guys all do. Literally in 1, 2, 3, 4 days, you guys will be seeing my video scheduled for my 5 years on YouTube. So you guys can go check that out. If you want to check out my latest video, I did do my review for Final Wars and a few other movie reviews. I'll have a playlist for all the movie reviews I've been doing lately and some other stuff. And look out for, I think my next review will be of Paddington. That's it. Yeah. Good old bear. Good old bear. So good old bear. We'll do Paddington. I have Paddington on the list. I have a top 10 on the list. I have Inside Out 2. I have Zootopia. And then I have something for Indigo Park I want to discuss. And then from that point, after that, I'll figure out what will be next. In terms of like what I want to add and request. Maybe I'll add the Gohan movie. I have no idea. We'll see what happens. I will figure it out once we reach the end of that list. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next time.